Greetings, my dear friends. This is Dreamweaver Mystics, as always. Today, I want to talk about life, but not the kind we are used to. Not proteins, not DNA, not cells. I want to talk about life that might be structured completely differently. About life that we might not even notice because we do not know how to look for it. We are used to thinking that life is carbon, water, oxygen. But what if this is just one option? One scenario out of an infinite number? What if nature, or the creator, or the universe, call it what you will, experiments far more broadly than we can imagine? Let us start with the closest to us in terms of chemistry, with silicon-based life. Silicon is in the same group of the periodic table as carbon. They have similar properties. Silicon, like carbon, can form complex chains of molecules. Theoretically, it could become the basis for a completely different form of life. But there is one problem. Silicon bonds are less stable at low temperatures. However, at high temperatures where carbon compounds break down, silicon feels right at home. Imagine creatures that live in volcanoes, or on planets with temperatures of hundreds of degrees, or inside stars. And here is the most interesting part. On Earth, there is something that makes you think. In Death Valley, California, there is a place called Racetrack Playa. There, rocks move by themselves. They leave long trails on the dry clay. Scientists explain this by ice, wind, and special conditions. But you look at those tracks, and you cannot help but wonder, what if these are not just rocks? What if they are living beings? Very slow, very ancient, living in a different time scale? We look at a rock and see a non-living object. But maybe it is just thinking so slowly that we do not notice its life? Maybe its day lasts 1,000,000 of our years. Maybe its movement is what we call geological processes. I am not saying rocks are alive. I am just asking a question. Now let us talk about life based on alternative solvents. On Earth, life is based on water. Water is a universal solvent. But what if other substances play the role of water on other planets? Take ammonia. It remains liquid at very low temperatures. On Saturn's moon Titan, there are lakes of liquid methane and ethane. The temperature there is -180 degrees Celsius. But if there are liquid hydrocarbons, then theoretically, life based on these solvents could exist there. Imagine creatures swimming in methane lakes. Their bodies consist of compounds that would be gaseous at our temperatures. They breathe hydrogen instead of oxygen. Their metabolism works in cold that would be deadly to us. Such life seems alien to us, but to them, our life would be alien. We would be creatures living in fire, because our temperature would be a blazing furnace to them. What if such creatures already exist right here on Earth, in the deep ocean, in permafrost, in hot springs? We simply do not know how to notice them because our analysis methods are tuned to find life like us. Next hypothesis, arsenic-based life, or the shadow biosphere. In the periodic table, arsenic is below phosphorus. They have similar chemical properties. Phosphorus is a critically important element for our life. It is part of DNA, RNA, ATP, the energy currency of the cell. But what if in some forms of life, phosphorus is replaced by arsenic? This is theoretically possible. Scientists have already found bacteria that can use arsenic instead of phosphorus under stress conditions. It is not a full replacement, but a step in that direction. Imagine an entire ecosystem where all biochemistry is built on arsenic. These would be creatures poisonous to us. For them, it would be normal. They do not know what poison is. They only know their own chemistry. What if such life exists right under our feet? In deep groundwater, in toxic waste, in places we consider uninhabitable. Scientists call this the shadow biosphere, a hypothetical world of microorganisms that live alongside us but do not intersect with us because they have a different biochemistry. They do not compete with us for resources. They do not interact with us. They simply exist. And we do not see them because we do not know how to look for them. Our analysis methods are tuned to find carbon-based life. We look for DNA. We look for proteins. We culture bacteria in nutrient media. But what if the shadow biosphere has no DNA? What if they have a different genetic code? What if they do not grow in our petri dishes? Then they could be everywhere, in the soil, in the air, in the ocean, in our own bodies. And we would never find them because we are not looking for them. Now let us move to the most exotic hypothesis, to plasma-based life. Plasma is the fourth state of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Plasma is ionized gas. Stars are made of plasma. Lightning is plasma. The northern lights are plasma. And here I cannot help but remember Gurdjieff, the fourth way. The first path, the path of the fakir working with the body. The second path, the path of the monk working with emotions. The third path, the path of the yogi working with the mind. And the fourth path, the path of awareness in everyday life, the path of awakening, the path of one who remains in the world but remembers themselves. Just like here, the first three states of matter are familiar, studied, understood, but the fourth, plasma, is something else entirely. It is a state closer to pure energy, to light, to the stars, as if nature too is seeking a fourth way, a way beyond the ordinary, a path to something higher. And if plasma can be alive, if there are beings of light and fire, then perhaps these are the ones who have walked the fourth path. Those who have freed themselves from coarse matter and become pure consciousness, those whom the ancients called angels. What if there are beings made of pure energy? They have no solid body. They have no liquid organs. They are clusters of plasma capable of self-organization, energy exchange, reproduction. This reminds us of angels. In religious texts, angels are often described as beings of light and fire. They have no flesh. They have no bones. They are spirits, energy. What if angels are not fiction? What if they are descriptions of real beings that live in different conditions? In the atmosphere of stars, in interstellar space, in the upper layers of our own atmosphere. Scientists have observed plasmospheres in laboratories that exhibit behavior resembling life. They grow, they divide, they exchange energy. It is not proof, but it is a hint. Imagine a being that lives on the sun. For it, a temperature of 6,000 degrees is room temperature. For it, nuclear reactions are food. It is not afraid of solar flares. It feeds on them. We look at the sun and see a ball of fire, but maybe it is a densely populated world? A world inhabited by beings invisible to us because we are looking with the wrong eyes? And here is what I think. We are searching for life in the universe. We look at Mars, at Europa, at Enceladus. We look for water. We look for organic compounds. We look for life like us. But what if we are looking in the wrong places? What if life exists right here on Earth in forms we do not recognize? What if life exists on the sun in the form of plasma beings? What if life exists in rocks that we consider non-living? We are limited by our perception. We see only what we are used to. We consider only what resembles us to be life. But the universe may be far more inventive. Maybe our form of life, carbon-based, water-based, is just one of millions of options. Maybe there are silicon civilizations that live for millions of years and consider us fleeting butterflies. Maybe there are beings of liquid methane on Titan who do not even suspect our existence. Maybe there are angels made of plasma watching us right now. I do not know. I have not been to Titan. I have not been inside the sun. I have not met living rocks. But I know that the universe is larger than our imagination, and life is likely larger than our definition. We are searching for intelligent brothers, but maybe they are already here, just not in the form we expect. And that is all for today. This was Dreamweaver Mystics. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss new videos. Your support means a lot to me. And write in the comments, do you think there is life in rocks? In plasma? On Titan? Or maybe you have ever felt that a rock was alive? I read everything. And remember, life might be far stranger than we can imagine. And perhaps you are looking at a living being right now. You just do not know it. Until next time.